Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
Earlier this year, I predicted more feminist fails for 2015. And one of those really stupid feminist causes was the issue of manspreading. Well, it turns out the feminists, they're winning on this one so far, as 2 men have been arrested for manspreading in New York. Yes, sitting with your legs slightly too far apart, as it used to be known, has apparently become a criminal offense. Now, rather than simply throwing out these charges, the judge issued an order that only guarantees that these men won't suffer any further repercussions if they avoid getting arrested again in the near future. Now, the term manspreading was coined by feminist bloggers who started tracking this antisocial behavior on public transport, but it has reached the real world too, and so it's been banned in New York and Seattle. Ah, my goodness, it's so insane. But this has prompted a counter movement, counter shaming called she-bagging. And this is, all in the name of equality. Twitter users are now shaming women who take up an extra seat with a handbag, a shopping bag, dog, or plants, all sorts of things. So this is what it has come to, is just arresting people for not being aware of personal space, not being polite. And, if you scroll down there, you can see some of the men that are caught manspreading are giants. They don't even fit in one seat on the plane. But here, this lady's taken up 3 seats. So, this is what it's come to. The policy is, it's most likely going to be used to harass people and just, be an excuse to harass people, most likely minorities, so they can say, oh, sorry, you were manspreading. It's, the land of the free, home of the brave, right? Land of the fee, home of the slave, I believe they call it now. But the kids today, they're not just being conditioned to fear any triggers and hide in their safe spaces. They are also being prepared to be the cyborgs of tomorrow. Now, Disney and Marvel have unveiled their latest new wearable toys. The Playmations will first roll out, slated for October. So Playmation's first rollout includes a wearable Iron Man-inspired repulsor that kids can strap to their arm, as well as 2 power activators, which will presumably activate powers, and 2 smart figures. Now, Disney's goal here is to untether the experience from consoles and specific locations and let kids and adults play by wandering around, running, jumping, and exploring. And, maybe they'll even attach them to virtual headsets soon. Back in my day, we used to call that playing outdoors. So here we have toys that are basically turning children into Iron Man, and it actually sounds pretty awesome. But I think that that's the point, because, once you get addicted to these wearables, then you're going to have to get your brain chip upgrades to enhance the experience. Now, stay tuned. We're going to have a very important Fukushima update from Alex Jones.
The knowledge of the ancients, tried and true, trusted herbs and extracts fused with the latest nutraceutical science. Introducing the all-new Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Blend, crafted with over 14 key ancient herbs and extracts to supercharge and prepare your body for what experts admit is the most dangerous season of the year. We have rejected hundreds of other formulations in our quest to bring you what is simply the most powerful and comprehensive proprietary formula that we have ever created in the realm of herbal immunity. For the last 2 years, our team has been working with top doctors, nutritionists, and chemists to develop the ultimate nutraceutical formulation. Experience the benefits of combining over 14 ancient herbs and extracts with exciting new advances in nutraceutical science. For a limited time, get 25% off on this introductory offer. Visit ancientdefense.com or call 888-253-3139. ancientdefense.com. In the past decade, we have witnessed unparalleled scientific discoveries in the area of health. But no one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. DNA Force is one of the most expensive formulas to produce. Some of the ingredients in DNA Force are $12,000 a kilogram. We are using the coveted, patented, only American source of PQQ, CoQ10, and more. You want the best that's out there at the lowest price anywhere? Well, we're bringing you a total win-win. The ultimate value, cutting-edge, trailblazing game changer that also supports the Infowar. We have produced a limited run of DNA Force, and it will take up to 12 weeks to produce more once we sell out. Secure your DNA Force today at InfowarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. DNA Force from Infowars Life. Alex Jones here with a very important Fukushima update. Well, almost 5 years has passed since the tragic events that took place in 2011 north of Tokyo, Japan, in a province known as Fukushima. Of the 6 reactors damaged by the tsunami and the subsequent earthquake, 5 partially or totally exploded. And one of the key reactors that was actually a plutonium reactor, even more dangerous than the traditional uranium reactor, the MOX core system completely exploded with a giant hydrogen chain reaction. We had scientists on at the time who were able to study the isotopes and confirmed that indeed a fission chain reaction had taken place. Now, quite frankly, there is no silver bullet to protect yourself from radiation. The northern hemisphere of our planet has double to triple, depending what time of year we're looking at, of the southern hemisphere, simply because most nuclear disasters from Chernobyl to Fukushima and nuclear testing have taken place in the northern hemisphere. This is quite frankly insane. But it was four and a half years ago that I began to really research radiation poisoning and things that were happening around the world so that I could try to mitigate what was happening to myself and my family. Because we had the reports from Connecticut on the East Coast and places in California and other areas of increased radioactive isotopes in cow's milk because they were eating on the surface of the grass where it was bioaccumulating. It was showing up in higher levels in tuna off California. And the media was saying it was no big deal. Now higher levels of radiation is supposedly okay for you. Well, now the International Business Times, RT, and others are reporting that there are over 200 plus containers at the wrecked facility where 5 of the reactors were damaged, several totally exploded, that are filled with spent fuel rods and that are building up hydrogen again that could cause massive explosions. Each one of them could end up being bigger than what we saw back in 2011. This is simply insane. The entire facility on the edge of the ocean, because of the water they're dumping on it to keep it cooled down, the radioactive rods that are heating up, is causing the whole facility to sink into the ground. Bottom line, Fukushima is only going to get worse. So I began to do research. And as I said back in a clip a few years ago, short of moving to the southern hemisphere, there's really nothing you can do other than protecting the tissues and the cells that we already have in our bodies. And nothing is a silver bullet. But the best thing you can do overall, that from my research gives the thyroid and other glands some modicum of a defense, is things like high quality nascent iodine. And a few years ago, we launched our original survival shield from the cleanest sources that could be found from the ocean, from kelp and seaweed. But in our process of getting deeply into iodine, and with our audience having such a great response and the great reviews, we began to do even more research and found that we could get a deep earth source of the crystals. And by securing these crystals, we're getting people a 999 source that is a whole nother level. Other brands of so-called nascent iodine turned black or red on paper. Real iodine is electric blue purple. And when you heat up our iodine on a hot plate, when it's in the crystal form, it turns into gas. That's how pure it is. And again, it's the good iodine, it's the good halogen that if your body didn't have it, you would die. Deficiencies long-term in iodine or the lack of iodine will kill you. That tells you how important this is. And in the 20s, in the Midwest and other areas, there was huge problems with big swollen thyroids and goiters. It was causing birth defects, serious crises. And the federal government did the right thing and said, we're going to work with salt manufacturers to add iodine, a lower grade, cheap type, to the salt. And there's a bunch of different studies on this, but IQs in the Midwest and other areas that hadn't had enough iodine previously, because folks on the coast were getting enough from fish, but the folks in the Midwest saw upwards of a 15-point IQ increase in just 10 years. Iodine is something your body literally feeds off of, and it's connected into all your basic hormone functions. So when you don't have enough iodine or don't have a pure form of iodine that your body can actually absorb, your body begins to break down. Now, when the government began to tell salt makers don't put it in the salt anymore, by the 70s, they started pushing water fluoridation that is the bad halogen, hydrofluorosilicic acid, bromine, chlorine. These are the bad halogens that go in and basically fill up the thyroid and other glands. Simply put, iodine has changed my life. Pure, high-quality nascent iodine, true nascent iodine from the deep earth source is even more life-changing than what I experienced with original Survival Shield. I want to challenge you to try Survival Shield X2 today. And one more important news update here, not just on Fukushima, but on our supply of Survival Shield X2. Securing enough high-quality iodine that would pass rigorous California standards and other tests was extremely hard to do. And in our search to have the very best, we discovered what no one else was even using or aware of, that you're able to get iodine that's drilled and mined right here in the United States that is of a superior potency and quality. The true, pure iodine crystals, the type that turn into gas when they're heated up. And when I began to take this in the 6 months before we rolled it out, literally testing it on myself, it was amazing. What came out of my skin, the weight I lost, the energy I got. But I want to warn people, consult your physician before you try this. It's totally legal and lawful. It's incredibly clean. But at the same time, when you've been deficient in something like this for a long time, there will be, from my experience and others' experiences, major effects. And when it starts pulling out the bad halogens out of glands and tissues and things, you will feel like you're detoxing 2 weeks to a month in. Almost everyone I've talked to, this has happened. Dr. Group, who helped develop this system, warned me up front, and it did happen. So this is serious. It's not a game. Check it out for yourself today at InfoWarsLife.com, or if you have any questions or comments or would like to order over the phone, 888-253-3139. I believe in win-win-win. It's high quality. It's the purest form out there. It's very affordable. It's something the globalists are aware of. That's why they push bad halogens and not the good halogen. It's a supply that is finite. We're having trouble right now, as I was about to get to, running out of it and being able to get a new supply of the pure crystals. So bottom line, it's time to stock up. And finally, your purchase of these products funds Infowars.com, the nightly news, the syndicated radio show, the print media, everything we're doing. So it is a 360 win. It's important to stockpile this and to have a reserve supply, because you look at the attacks on Infowars, the attacks on alternative media, you look at the attacks on supplements, and then just the supply chain that has broken down for us basically right now. I wanted to give you a heads up to secure your Survival Shield X2 today. Well, that's it for this important news consumer update alert. Again, thank you all for your support, not just of Infowars.com, but the First Amendment across the board. Never forget, if you're watching this transmission, you are the resistance. Infowars Life and InfowarsLife.com is extremely excited to announce our latest release, Winter Sun, a revolutionary type of vitamin D3. Winter Sun is a premium quality vitamin D3 nutritional supplement. It is produced by extracting oil from healthy, nutrient-dense plants known as lichens. Every batch is analyzed for purity and D3 content. It's completely free of toxins and allergens. Simply put, if you want the best at an extremely low price, this is it. Winter Sun is the result of our pursuit of the best source of vitamin D3. The research and development took over 2 years, but the result, as verified by independent laboratories, is the best vegan vitamin D3 product in the world. Read the facts at InfowarsLife.com about Winter Sun Vitamin D3. Not only does vitamin D3 promote a healthy mood, but vitamin D supports our memory and brain function, something the globalists are targeting. Visit Infowars.com today or call 888-253-3139.
You are watching the Infowars Nightly News, which airs 7 p.m. Central at InfowarsNews.com. And your support is helping us defend liberty worldwide.